My curious and playful Gemini friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. There is a particular restlessness that sometimes settles behind your eyes, Gemini. It isn't loud, but it hums quietly beneath the surface of your laughter and conversation. This week you may notice it as a subtle tightening in your chest, a sense that you are waiting for something, though you can't quite name what. The world moves around you, plans unfurl, but inside there's a tension between wanting to stay with what's familiar and feeling called to stretch beyond it. Perhaps you sense that you're on the edge of a change, but you aren't certain if it's of your own making or coming from somewhere else. People may think you're preoccupied, but really you are listening, tuning into currents that most miss. It's the kind of anticipation that brings clarity, but also a little weariness. You hold yourself together with a quiet discipline, even as the questions circle. There is a desire to get it right, to prove to yourself that you can build something lasting, even while the winds of uncertainty rattle the windows. And all the while, you wonder if anyone else feels how charged the air has become. You've been pouring yourself into the details lately. If you pause and look back, you might notice how many hours you've devoted to tasks that others might overlook. The card 8 of Pentacles invites you to recognize the depth of your focus. Each day you wake up and return to your work, whatever work means for you right now. It could be a project, a relationship, or even a process of learning who you are in this season. You've set high standards for yourself. There's pride in the way you handle the small things, the routines that others dismiss. You may not even realize how much of your identity is woven into these efforts. The repetition brings comfort, but it can also bring questions. Are you perfecting your craft, or are you trying to prove yourself to an invisible audience? There's a sense of striving here, not just for achievement, but for a sense of belonging within your own story. You feel the weight of what you're building. Some days it feels like the only thing tethering you to the ground. On others it can be exhausting, even isolating. You notice how others sometimes overlook your diligence or take your reliability for granted. Still, you persist, driven by an inner need to see things through. Underneath it all, there's a quiet hope that your dedication will be recognized, that your efforts will create something lasting. Yet you may also sense a faint anxiety. If you stop, even for a moment, will everything unravel? The urge to keep going is strong, but it's not only about productivity. It's about grounding yourself in something you can control as change swirls nearby. You're seeking meaning in the small, steady acts, even if you don't always admit it to yourself. This is a week when your inner posture is defined by determination, but also a delicate vulnerability. You are present, attentive, and quietly longing for your work to matter, to yourself most of all. That steady focus, Gemini, is not separate from the world's movement. It's as if all your careful effort has been preparing you for what comes next. When you concentrate so intently, when you invest every part of yourself into a purpose, you create a kind of momentum, but sometimes that very momentum collides with forces beyond your control. The tension between order and upheaval becomes palpable. Because you care so much, you notice every tremor in the foundation. The path ahead is not just built by your hands, it is shaped by the unexpected, the uninvited, and the undeniable. This is where the tower makes its appearance. Its presence in your path this week speaks to a sudden surge of friction, a pressure that refuses to be ignored. Whatever you have been organizing, whatever you have tried to keep contained, is meeting a sharp gust of reality. Perhaps it is a conversation that erupts or a plan that comes undone. It might not be dramatic in outward appearance, but inside it feels seismic. The familiar structures you've built, habits, assumptions, routines, are rattled. You may feel exposed, as if your steady ground isn't quite as solid as you thought. There's a jolt that comes not from failure, but from revelation. Something essential must change. This pressure does not ask for permission. It arrives with its own timing, pressing you to acknowledge what is no longer sustainable. There's discomfort in this, Gemini, because you've worked so hard to hold things together. Yet the momentum of change is relentless. You might sense a push from the outside, a shifting dynamic at work, a change in a close relationship, or even a realization that your approach is no longer serving you. The friction comes from seeing the gap between what you've been perfecting and what life now demands. It's not a punishment, but a necessary release. The air crackles with energy, urging you to let go of what cannot continue. You may want to resist, to patch up the cracks and carry on as before. Yet somewhere within, you know that this breaking open is also a clearing away. The tower is not just about loss, it is about liberation. The pressure you feel is the invitation to breathe deeper, to see what remains when the unnecessary falls away. In the heart of this friction, a new sense of possibility stirs, even if it's not yet clear what form it will take. How you meet this moment matters, Gemini. The potential for growth isn't automatic. It depends on whether you allow yourself to be present with what's changing. If you engage consciously, rather than retreating into old patterns, something opens up. The path isn't about controlling every outcome, but about being alert to what's emerging in the space left behind. The work you've done to build your foundation gives you the resilience to face disruption with curiosity instead of fear. It is in the space between what was and what will be that your next possibility takes root. Here, the Eight of Wands gently enters your reading, offering a glimpse of what moves when you open yourself to change. This card doesn't promise a specific outcome, but it does signal a release of energy and a quickening of momentum, if you are willing to meet the moment consciously. Imagine the feeling of tension snapping, the weight of expectation lifting. Suddenly, things that felt stuck begin to move. There is a rush of clarity, and connections form where there was once only confusion. You may find yourself inspired to speak your truth, to reach out, or to follow a thread of intuition that leads somewhere unexpected. Growth arrives as an invitation, not as a demand. It's not about achieving a goal or proving yourself, but about responding in real time to what is unfolding. You are invited to trust your readiness, to let your responses be honest and immediate. The energy here is not chaotic but focused. It's about letting yourself move with the current instead of fighting the tide. When you allow yourself to release what you've outgrown, your natural adaptability becomes your strength. The Eight of Wands is a reminder that things can come together quickly when you are fully present, open to possibility, and willing to act on what feels true, without needing to know every answer in advance. Stepping back, you can see how each part of your journey this week is connected. Your steady effort, Eight of Pentacles, has prepared you for the disruption, the tower, even if it didn't feel that way at first. The discipline and care you've shown in the details give you the grounding to weather sudden shifts. The shock of realization, though uncomfortable, clears the stage for something lighter and more immediate. Eight of Wands. It's as if life is asking you to trust what you've built, even as it asks you to let go. You are not starting from scratch. You are making space for something more vital. There is reassurance in knowing that your value is not found in perfection, but in your ability to adapt and respond. The upheaval is not a judgment on your efforts, but a catalyst for a new phase. What you carry forward is your integrity, your presence, and your willingness to keep showing up, no matter how the scenery changes. In the end, what felt like an ending becomes a threshold. You discover strength in allowing things to move and a quiet confidence in your ability to find meaning, even as the story shifts. The tension that began your week softens into a sense of renewal. You are not undone by change, you are refined by it. There is calm in accepting that both discipline and disruption have a place in your life, and that your adaptability is not a compromise but a gift. Actionable insights for Gemini this week. Notice what you return to when everything feels uncertain. Experiment with letting one small routine change just to see how it feels. Allow a conversation to go somewhere unexpected without steering it back to the familiar. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. My steady effort matters, even when no one sees it. I can move with change without losing myself. Each shift brings new clarity to my path. I trust what unfolds when I show up as I am. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.